to the Escape Gaming Masters, the second game now in this best of 5 grand final between DauT and TheViper. After a fantastic first game, DauT secures the first point. And what is your kind of take on that, the mentality of the players going into this one, T90?
Well, Viper's obviously kicking himself because he went aggressive and he really didn't do a lot. He just sat on that hill all game and let DauT boom up. So I think Viper is going to be thinking, hey, we can't let DauT boom up. Viper tried it last game, but he wasn't successful enough. This map is a little bit more open and there's different elements to it, but I think that that's what Viper will think that was his disadvantage last time around. DauT will probably stick to the same game plan. I imagine he recognizes that if he's able to defend and boom and then conquer, he'll be in a good spot. But it's so interesting because you add in different civilization matchups, just like Viper said in that interview maybe an hour or so ago you posted, and then also the different maps. So you really just got to see what they're scouting and what they're choosing to do based off what they're given.
Yeah, so right here we have the Viper in the red. He's playing as the Slavs. And in the blue, across the center of the map here, we have DauT playing in the blue as the Khmer. Now, I just want to say very briefly, just to acknowledge the fact that the trees are now big, and you might see some weird trails behind the villages and stuff. This map is a snow map, and I put the no snow patch on so that it doesn't hurt people's eyes and, it get really glaring and distracting. And yeah, that's why the trails are left behind here. For some reason, the trees have gone big. I'm not sure why, but I can fix that for the next game. It's no biggie. One game won't hurt.
They've grown over time.
Exactly. It's just natural. Of course, the trees are going to get bigger over time.
Exactly.
Give it like 3 years, and the trees are going to be giant redwoods, and we won't even be able to see the map. It'll just be a layer of tree over the whole thing.
Try and micro those wood villagers.
Yeah, we have to cast the game via looking at the outlines of the units under the trees. That would be very confusing and difficult. Anyway, kind of off topic, but I wanted to talk about the fact that the Slavs have a great food bonus thanks to their farms. What do the Khmer get? Not really a huge amount, I feel.
Yeah, it's just, the big thing is I think they have an early advantage in each age because they don't need to build the buildings you normally require to get to the feudal age, castle age, imperial age. So basically that does save them on resources and it saves them on time potentially. But after a couple minutes, if they don't take advantage of that opportunity, it's really not a lot. Yeah. So I think that I would prefer the Slavs as far as eco is concerned. But it all depends on what the players are going to do. So Zach, what do you think about the map? Like, there's obviously a lot of different things about this. Yeah. Resources are spread out differently. So if you want to start with one of the players, maybe I can take the other.
Sure. Okay, so the map is Valley, and on Valley you have, well, in this case, normally you would have sheep, but we have cows. Big difference there being, of course, the 150 food versus the 100. So, I mean, that's another element that comes into play with these expansions. Sometimes you get sheep, sometimes you get cows. If you get cows, suddenly you have a lot more food at your disposal. If you get sheep, suddenly you don't have as much food. So that could influence the strategy a little bit, and I feel like this map works great if you want to go for a scout rush, just because of these, well, first of all, the cows, but the fact that there's so many deer around as well. This map is teeming with deer. It's deer's paradise, and they're loving it. Now, there's a couple of versions of this map, and this one is the one that has very fair distribution of resources. One of the versions of this map makes the players go towards the center to fight for the deer in the middle. That's not the case here, and both players have both boar, they have a berry patch, and they have deer at home. So we're going to see players building up on both sides and probably going for some early feudal aggression. I think Viper will go scouts, but we will see. As for the map itself, I think both players can play very defensively. These wood lines do offer lots of opportunities to wall, and we start to see that already with Viper's houses. He's got a pretty safe gold and stone at the back, and his other gold is kind of spread across the front and to the south of his base. But the key thing on this map is that your main gold doesn't have as many tiles as most normal maps. It's only got 5 tiles of gold in each of these piles. Oh, sorry, yeah, there's 5 on this one, 5 on this one, and then 4 on this one. Which means that actually his second gold and his first gold are essentially the same, and so this is fine back here.
it's weird how similar the bases are comparing the resources. The berries for both of them near Deer Patch, so they
Yeah.
don't have to worry about luring them all in. There's a back gold and a front gold. So very similar. Even if you compare the stone as well, there's also a back stone. So I don't think players can make excuses with the maps, that's for sure.
This is what we like, though. I mean, this is the thing that the Age of Empires, it gives it a lot of charm. The fact that the map's randomly generated, and sometimes, yeah, you don't have a great map, and your opponent has a fantastic map. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But this map really is very even, in my opinion. It does look very fair, and that should give us a really good game and a close game as well, in my opinion, because when there's no map advantage, it really comes down to just only player skill. And these guys are clearly very evenly matched, as we saw in that first game. And DauT clearly coming from the winner's bracket, Viper coming from the lower bracket. I think we're going to see a good one here. Now, thing that strikes me straight away is DauT's walling. He's walled up already quite aggressively, or not quite heavily, sorry, on the front. And he's on the way up to the feudal age without a barracks.
So if he's on the feudal age without a barracks as the Khmer,
Yep.
that's no problem. He can go for a stable. He can go for an archer range.
Exactly.
I'm expecting he will go for the stable, but I've been wrong so many times in my year or two of casting that, you never know. Just because there's so much food he has.
Yeah.
The wall's probably a good move, and I think both players can do that, and both players will do that. So, guys, if you're looking for a great game or in a late game, we're probably going to see one here.
Yeah, I feel like
But
that
you never
too as
know.
well. I do think he's going to go for a stable. There it is on that top side. And exactly,
Yeah.
I was trying to lead us to that point, the fact that DauT does not need a barracks in order to build this stable. So there's 175 wood saved, which he can then use on farms. He can build, well, anything he likes, I guess. I mean, the point is he's not had to spend the wood, which means that right now DauT might be a little ahead in food, and he is. He's actually ahead by about 100 food because of that, because instead of having extra villagers gathering wood, he's had them gathering food instead. Now, Viper also adding a stable. Of course, he had to build a barracks first, and that's really the key difference. But now, this is where Viper's bonus starts to kick in, where his farmers will start working faster, and those farms will start coming up once these cows run out. But for now, there is ample food available to both players, and this is just one of those maps where making scouts is just such a logical choice to make.
Yeah, it is a logical choice for sure. When you have so many deer around, you might as well collect them. DauT, for example, has some next to his TC. If he runs out of food underneath his TC, even though it's slightly inefficient, he may choose to go get those deer. You never know, but I think as the walls come up, you have to start talking about and looking at how many scouts are going to be created, because we've seen many times players will create scouts and then they may regret that decision. If they create too many, the opponent will make it to the castle age first. So I think the most important thing, if you're Viper and DauT, is just playing it safe, and that's what they have always done. Playing it safe, making sure you're not vulnerable, and then getting to the castle age.
It's really a playstyle that we've noticed from both of these guys, actually. Playing it safe,
Yeah.
not really going all in. I mean, right now, Viper could see, okay, well, DauT's fully walled, DauT's making scouts. Let's go forward with 5 vills, put a tower up, and break through. He could do that, and that's what some players would do. But Viper's more inclined, I feel, to just say, okay, well, I'll just wall. I'll play it safe, I'll fall back, and I'll just wait until I can take a favorable engagement and win it that way. I'll wait until we're at a point where I can take a good fight and maybe outboom you. I mean, there's so many factors that could come into play that would give him an edge in many places of this game. But for now, yeah, DauT is fully walled up, and that means that these scouts are basically going to do nothing now, which should be an immediate reaction from Viper to stop making scouts, start making more walls, and start booming up a little bit more to get to the castle age, because I don't think we're going to see much aggression here in feudal at all. Both players actually playing very passively and very defensively.
Yeah, and this is nice. This gives us a chance to talk about what we might expect, but I think it's a little bit too early for that. What separates players like DauT and Viper from like your standard waller is that they're able to wall up, but they're able to balance their economy effectively. It's so hard to do. Obviously, they're controlling the scouts out here. Viper does have one more scout, and it's on low HP. But these guys just know how to balance their eco and know how to use their sibs as well, obviously making it to this stage.
Yeah, Viper now closing his wall on the south side. He's a little later to finish the wall, but you see the blacksmith there at the top. That's just in preparation for that castle age upgrade. He's just got 5 farms right now. And he's ready to go to the castle as soon as he gets the gold, which he's taking at the back now as well. Also, I've noticed a second mill and a third mill. He's actually milling all of these deer patches, and to be honest, it really makes a lot of sense. It's absolutely worth it to mill 4 deer. Now, if you've got a patch of 3 deer, you shouldn't build a mill on it. You should push them with your scout or just leave them. But when you've got patches of 4, in this case 8 deer, it is 250% worth it to build a mill. And Viper's really just taking advantage of that wall off, and he's saying, okay, well, I built this wall. What can I now do that I couldn't do otherwise? What could I do if I didn't have this wall? And he can take the deer. He can take it safely, and this is really nice. Do we see DauT doing the same? Absolutely. These guys just really on the level where they both think the same, and they're both doing the same moves here. I like it a lot because it just shows that even behind their walls, even without knowing what the other player's doing, they're still mirroring each other.
Yep. And the Castle Age upgrade is on the way for both players as well. Now, the question comes, do you want to get your TCs up, or do you want to get a second military building up? There's actually a stable going up for DauT right now, and I like the fact it's behind and not up against his wall, so it's a surprise. So he might go into 2 stable knights.
Yeah, and he's doing bloodlines.
But...
Niltford would approve.
Yeah. It'll be hard for him to do damage if Viper recognizes it.
Well, Viper won't recognize...
Neck and neck.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. He might recognize that there's a building here, but he might not know what it is.
It's so close.
Because
if you look at Viper's Fog of War,
he's gonna see the
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna actually see the ground in his he won't. Okay, so those viewing the stream, because we're a spectator, he can't see the ground. It's a different color, but he can just see this corner of it, and that means that he might suspect there's a building there. He obviously will have no idea what it is though, and so Viper here going to town on the stable, but you know, DauT repairing that. Viper's not getting in, and as soon as DauT hits castle, he's going to stable knights. Now, what's Viper doing? I think he's gonna boom.
Same thing.
Oh, really? Okay. I actually I was just looking at his wood, and I was thinking he's gonna put 2 TCs up straight away.
Exactly.
But maybe
he's gonna have the resources.
Yeah, maybe he can do both.
But he's gonna send out knights too.
Maybe he could do both. With all these extra deer, it could be possible. But
yeah, that's it right there.
Knights take a huge toll on the economy, though. That's the thing. Like on the food, that is. So making more TCs could be really tough. And actually, there's a monastery coming up. So never mind that. Viper is going to be getting very aggressive. And 1 new TC will come up at the back as well. And he, of course, can afford to build the 3rd TC now, but it might not be the right decision because he doesn't have the food to support production from 3 TCs and 2 stables at this stage of the game.
So close, Zach. So close. 2 stables now for DauT. The 2nd TC going up now. Both players have had a ton of food income coming in. Now we have scouts and knight fighting in the middle. And this has been pretty much the same build order from both players, and it's just a testament to their skill. What's
interesting to me is that Viper's done +1 attack instead of +1 defense, and I don't know when that +1 attack came in, but he had a lot of scouts. Maybe he was thinking, well, I could maybe break through the stable if I get +1 attack or something like that. Because traditionally, typically, you get the +1 defense first, and you know, DauT here with +1 defense. Wait, no, he doesn't have it? I thought he actually had it. Okay, never mind.
No, not yet.
Yeah, he will get it really pretty soon, yeah. But Viper's going to have the small advantage in upgrades here if they take the fight. But I think DauT's ahead in knights at this stage.
Yeah, so there's knights there, but in the end, they're making knights to cancel each other out. Obviously, if you just full boom, it's going to be bad for your eco. Even though they're making a lot of knights, I really don't think any of these players, since the monastery came up, I think these players are not looking to finish this off in the castle age. I think these knights are to get map control.
Absolutely.
I think it's just to keep themselves safe. Look at the army composition for both players. Almost the same amount of scouts, a monk there. I mean, it looks so similar on both sides. Everything's so close. It's all about eco.
Yeah, and talking about eco, Viper has got his 3rd TC now. Pardon me. So, yeah, I mean, he might be clawing ahead in villagers here. And I just want to add as well that this monk choice from Viper is so nice, given that he actually didn't know that DauT was making knights. at the point where he built the monastery. He hadn't seen the knights, he hadn't seen the second stable, but he still made the monastery and the monk anyway. So, yeah. But it really is close, and we did predict that we would see a long game. I think we're absolutely right, because this game is not ending in the castle age as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's really hard to see that happening now. The one interesting thing about the monks being out is that there are still a lot of scouts here. So if a player is going to like sacrifice units, they're going to sacrifice the scouts and try and go in and pick off those monks. There's one possibility here. If someone is going to try and attack in the Castle Age, Viper may do this late Castle Age push and go on top of this hill where DauT rests now, right where that gold is, because he could break through the walls and then he'd find the TCs there as well. Hill advantage obviously is important, but I think DauT recognizes that, so he's going to make sure that does not happen.
Yeah, he's going to try and just keep the knights on the hill here and just prevent Viper from doing that late castle push. But it could be the case that Viper goes for that. It's risky, but again, we were talking before, risk versus reward. And if Viper does get a strong hold on this hill, then he's going to deny that gold from DauT and the second gold as well. Don't forget there's that other one to the south. So if Viper was able to get something up here, a castle, or just take this hill, I think DauT would be in a huge, well, massively bad position. I don't know what I was going to say. A huge what? What would DauT would be in a huge predicament,
a huge
maybe?
massively bad position.
Yeah, exactly. It's that big. We have to add more adjectives to just explain how bad it is. He's not on stone, I've noticed right now though, and DauT does not look like he's preparing to build his own castle on that hill. Is Viper taking stone yet? I would say maybe.
He had a little bit earlier. Yeah.
6 vills on stone. I predict a riot. He's going to come forward with a castle, I'm sure.
Well, he's on 4 TCs, so it's not like he's getting stone for an extra town center now, surely. So I imagine, actually, DauT has just lost a monk to the scouts from Viper. That's a really good pickoff on the right-hand side.
Exactly. We saw that, and that's nice because that's 100 gold just free. DauT doesn't achieve anything. Viper gets 300 gold off of DauT. I mean, he doesn't literally get a free 100 gold. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
He takes it away. Yeah,
I'm tired now. I'm tired now. But look at this. DauT is trying to do the same. Oh my god, that was so funny. DauT comes in with a scout, starts attacking Viper's monk, and then Viper's other monks are healing the monk so fast. They're healing it faster than the scout can do damage. And it just dies. I love that. The relics, though, are coming in. Viper will grab just the one relic here, and DauT should have one as well. They really are preparing. I mean, this is another sign that they're really preparing this for the late game. Because they wouldn't be going out and collecting the relics if they weren't going to be hunkering down and preparing to dig in, you know?
But still, they have to be on edge because there's so many units here. If someone committed to upgrades, it would be bad for the other. They'd have to react. We have 5 monks for Viper, 4 for DauT, a lot of knights.
Yeah, but Viper's got the upgrade advantage on these knights. He's got +1 attack and an additional monk. I fear for DauT here. I think this could go very badly wrong for him as these monks come in from Viper. And beautiful use of the scouts from DauT at the back there. He took the monks out on the back lines, and that's going to give him a little bit more in this engagement. A third stable from DauT as well, allowing him to pump out those knights just a little bit faster. But he's still crucially missing those upgrades. DauT now.
He just got
I think he just got +1. Yeah.
So it's going to be close.
The forging upgrade coming in, and that, of course, allowing DauT to hold on. Now, if that upgrade hadn't come in, I really question whether or not DauT would have been able to hold that. As it stands, he does. He pushes Viper away, and he takes down all of Viper's monks. And if I remember correctly, Viper did have additional monks in that fight compared to DauT. So, great
Did you see that scout just finish off that knight?
No, I didn't actually. Oh,
okay,
well, I missed that, sadly.
I mean, just one scout hit finished off the knight. It was pretty funny. You wouldn't expect that. But that's pretty good for DauT. I mean, these knights are really going to help out with map control. He doesn't have a ton of resources in the bank, but you have to think he's thinking about the Imperial Age. Viper is on his way to the Imperial Age.
Yeah, key difference here. DauT 3 TCs, Viper 4. Viper Imperial Age, DauT not. And this is where now DauT wants to get aggressive. We were saying that maybe Viper would do this. Well, DauT's adding in a 5th stable. I think it's DauT looking to do this aggression. Now, this... Oh, I love this. He's just going to burn the monastery to the ground, and he's already got his monk there just ready to take the relic away. He's like, yoink, that's mine. However, Viper's defensive castle here will be spotted by DauT, and we did note earlier that he was on stone. I was hoping it would be an aggressive castle, and I think that's why Viper did push when he did. Bear in mind that Viper made that aggressive push here, and I think his goal, every time you make a play, every time you push out, it should be to achieve something. Keep this in mind. Every time you make an aggressive push, you want to achieve something from it. Whether that's just to kill your enemy or do some kind of push behind it. Viper was obviously trying to put the castle on the hill here. And I think that's why he pushed out when he did. Because he was ready with the castle. What actually happened was DauT won the fight. Viper had to put the castle defensively. And I think that's really now playing against Viper's game plan. But Viper on the way to Imp, as we've said already, and doing pikes now, making a tech switch.
Yeah, and DauT's going to have to make a tech switch as well because he doesn't want to fight Knights versus Pikemen, soon to be Halberdiers. Viper, his base is set right now. It is locked down. He even added in some stone walls on the right side. He has gold and stone in the back. He's building a market there. If you see where that market is, Zach, there's gold, there's stone. I mean, perfect for Viper. But what will DauT do? He does have the map control in the middle. I don't think he can hold it with just Knights, and he's only 13% of the way.
Honestly,
all the
though,
way to the Imperial Age.
This could be one of those classic games where, I mean, it's not going to be actually because I didn't realize DauT had clicked up to the Imperial Age. I was going to say this could be one of those classic games where one player stays castle and just throws everything at the enemy and just doesn't even do the Imperial Age upgrade. I don't think that will be the case. Oh, wait, definitely won't, because DauT is doing that Imperial Age upgrade. But DauT's going to feel very comfortable about this position, but I really want to stress he needs a castle on this hill, and he needs it as soon as possible, because he's mining gold there now, and he's not going to keep this map control for long if Viper is now going heavy into these pikes.
You are 110% correct. Look at his golds. He has a gold back at his base with 2 tiles left. He actually just finished the 1 tile, so 700 gold left there. He has nothing left in his base like Viper does. Actually, does have some at the top, so I lied to you guys.
But it's still, it's still a small amount, and it's very easy to harass that, so it's not safe. And we know how important gold is. Now, I would add, though, that DauT does have 1k gold in the bank, so at least he's got something. But you should always be thinking ahead and always looking to secure the gold where you can. And right now, I can't believe this is happening, but Halbs are actually just going to come in and just start poking these villagers with their big pointy sticks. Poor villagers, man. They did not expect that today.
They just got sent to work this morning, and look at this. Jeez.
Of course, DauT can't engage that. He's only got knights. So that would be just terrible.
Of course. DauT has had all this time to switch up his unit composition. He hasn't done anything. He's now been building siege workshops in the back, so I'm just really confused by DauT's decision to basically do nothing except run around with his knights.
Shaking my head, because look at this. DauT now with a defensive castle. That castle should not be there. That castle is weak, because anything on this hill is going to have an attack bonus against it. I can't stress enough how important that hill for DauT was, and the fact that he's lost that hill now, I don't want to say it's going to lose him the game, but it could very well be a springboard for Viper to come in. Look at this. He's already got a Treb moving over. And he's like, oh, right, you're just going to build a castle at the bottom of the hill? I guess I'm just going to put my trebuchet on the hill and kill it then. Well, I assume that, although he's deploying it on the stables by the looks of things, which is interesting. Oh, no. Okay. Well, I guess he truly is using that 300-meter range, because that is a hell of a long distance away from the castle there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was out of range. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I underestimated the strength and power and majesty of the trebuchet there. Sorry. I promise I'm not a catapultist, but go ahead, Nilford.
Nilly, what is DauT planning on? He has all these resources. He's not doing anything in his stables. I see it. I don't know if Nilly is there, but...
Nilly is there, yeah. But you saw it yourself. You saw it yourself. He's going for scorpions, but the Viper is going for onagers later on. Siege onagers and halberdiers. So scorpions alone will do nothing against the composition of the Viper. Actually, Slavs are kind of similar in late Imperial Age like Celts in AOC, and it's basically impossible to counter that without like a special unique unit or siege onagers yourself.
Yeah, I think DauT is backed into a corner here, and this is not going to be pretty. Like you said, the onagers are great counter to the scorpions. And even if DauT does do his unique technology, double crossbow, which allows him to fire 2 arrows at once from the scorpions, I really question if that's going to be enough. And now, as we said, like we were talking about this so early in the game, now that Viper has this hill with a castle on it, oh look, DauT can't get any of his gold here. And okay, yeah, he has 1k4 in the bank, but that's not going to last. And Viper now going to be feeling super confident with this position in this map. And let's not forget as well, the Slavs have fantastic infantry as well. They could do the Dragina upgrade. We could even see Viper continuing to go Halbs or even make a switch into champions. Whatever he decides, this is going to be real tough for DauT. Now, I don't know why I said champions, actually, because if we see the scorpions, then champions wouldn't make any sense. But we also...
That's a good point still.
Yeah, we do see DauT adding in the light cavalry, actually. So the Halbs are still going to hold their worth in this game.
Well, we just heard the sound of death as DauT has run out of stone, and that castle is down. And he has all of his villagers forward. He has 3 trebs exposed. I'm waiting for the scorpions. Now, if the scorpions get a good engagement, maybe he can climb back into this. He is researching light cav, so if he sends out light cav, he can maybe pick off these onagers. But this is all best case scenario for DauT right now. I don't know if he can do this with the lack of gold and the lack of space.
Now, those people watching the stream might have just appreciated that a little bit. I just highlighted the onagers from Viper, and I just jumped to his, I pressed Control K to go to his Siege Workshop, and lo and behold, literally as I do it, he starts the Siege Onager upgrade. This is awesome from the Viper, and Siege Onagers here going to be absolutely devastating to DauT, because, well, first of all, I mean, what does he possibly have now that can deal with these onagers? Well, the only thing is the bombard cannon. I feel like this is only answer, and even that, it's a little bit dicey because Viper's just going to be able to run a bunch of Halbs in here and just soak up the arrow fire from the scorpions whilst his onagers at the back flatten everything. It's genuinely scary right now, and I'm not sure what the game plan for DauT truly is going to be here. He's making some hand cannons as well, but they're really going to fall short, I feel.
Well, this is the first time Viper has seen the scorpions, so I expect him to send the onagers forward. You can see one running forward now. I'm at 40-50, by the way, Zach.
Oh, okay, I'm at 4103 right now. But that's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll catch up. We're good. And with the bombard cannons here, maybe the range can help out, like you said. 12 range versus the 8 range of the onagers. Just pick these off, especially before SO comes in. But 1 or 2 onager shots can clear all the scorpions because they stack on top of one another.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how that works, but it does work. And that could be bad.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know, though. I mean, this could still be something for DauT here. These bombard cannons could be a little bit game-changing, actually. Mostly because of the fact that he can deal with the trebs now. Which means by default, he kind of just wins this treb war. Thanks to the bombard cannons coming in. I feel like Viper's actually running out a bit of steam. I feel like Viper could have absolutely overwhelmed DauT with military right now, but instead we're just seeing him do these really expensive technologies. He actually only has 1 onager out on the field at the moment, with 3 more in production.
Not very convincing from Viper, as he's now repairing the castle in the middle, and DauT has chosen the unit composition that maybe he needed to come back into this game. This castle is now 1/4 of the way down.
Yeah.
Can DauT get the gold back?
It's the scary thing now for Viper, because he's spent so much gold on these technologies, but he is going to support this with some Hussar. He has obviously got this meat shield of Halbs. I think he might lose the castle.
It's so close, and DauT has actually placed a castle. If you go to his point of view, he's placed a castle beneath Viper's castle. He wants to go out there first thing when he gets the chance. He still hasn't sent out the light cav, so the light cav could pick off these siege onagers. The castle's down, and there go the villagers for the castle.
Man, I can't believe he's actually managed to pull that back. I am a little disappointed that Viper didn't use that hill to pressure a little more. Instead, he just, like, waited and waited and waited for the text to come in. And I think these Siege Onagers still have potential to do massive damage. He has just done Siege Engineers as well, which means he gets the additional 1 range. But yeah, I mean, 1 Siege Onager shot can kill this whole army. If it's a good one. And right there you see it, like 5 Scorpions immediately going down. But in come the light cavalry here. They should be able to break this down. The Viper will probably lose most of, if not all of his Siege Onagers, but great Siege Onager shots on this hill. He does get a lot of unit kills, and Viper now bringing in the Hussar. He's ready to go, and as far as I know, the Khmer do not have the Hussar upgrade, which means that Viper should have the advantage here when it comes down to the trash as well.
Yeah, all these expensive units for DauT now exposed as the Halberdiers and the Hussars come in. Light cav and hand cannons and Scorpions, the choice of DauT. A couple bombard cannons need to run away. He has 4 right there next to the Halberdiers, but the castle is helping DauT in a big way, guys. And he has his gold back for the time being. Viper has to prepare for the next wave, I think.
DauT 150 population though, and Viper on 180 right now. Viper has got a significant population lead. Notice on the right side at that stone, Viper's just massacred all of the villagers out there. And it was a decent push from the Viper. He did take out a lot of units from DauT. And you might be thinking, if you're watching right now, well, Viper just lost all of his units there. Surely that's a really bad thing. Well, not necessarily. Viper, what did he lose? He lost Halberdiers and he lost Hussar. What did Viper lose? Viper lost, DauT lose. DauT lost multiple bombard cannons. He lost multiple heavy Scorpions. Really expensive gold units. Viper can afford to replace his army. It's no problem. Right now, Viper really just saving his gold for this heavy siege and relying on trash for everything else.
Yeah, Viper is definitely going to need to save that gold because he was going after relics earlier. I know we remember when DauT kind of stole that 1 relic from Viper. DauT has 3. Viper does not have any. So as this game goes on, and DauT, keep in mind, he was fighting uphill without these 2 golds, and DauT has these golds now. I think DauT can come back into this one, depending on how he micros this.
I just want to say, though, big tech switch for Viper here, moving into Siege Ram. Now, this is a great combo for Viper, because the Ram... Oh, okay, what is the Scorpion doing to the Ram? Nothing. What are the hand cannons going to do to the Rams? Nothing. So if Viper can put the Rams in front, and then Siege Onagers behind, and then Halbs, this is going to be a great combo. It takes a little bit of micro to pull this one off, but I think with the Rams in play, this is going to turn it around once again here for the Viper. And I also want to add that double crossbow is now done for DauT, so he's doing 2 ballista shots per shot, I guess, or two for 1.
Yeah.
All right, here's the Rams, though. I don't know if Viper has enough to support this, however. The Rams are going in. Where's the support units? Where are the helps? They're at the back.
I think this would be pretty good for Viper because if you look at the Rams, they're on full HP and he's pushing all these units back.
They're not going down.
As well if they get in.
They're not going down.
This is a great choice for Viper.
Yeah, that absolutely swung it back into his favor. He does need to bring these halbs at the back into fight. But, I mean, the problem before was that the castle and all these ranged units were just taking down his halbs. Well, now they're fighting the Siege Rams, and those Siege Rams can just take it all. And they will do that as they move towards the castle now. And suddenly, just all of these heavy Scorpions are negated because they do no damage to the Rams here. 1 damage per arrow. These Rams are so tanky. And Viper, I think he's going to get this hill. I can't be 100%, but it does look like it. 172 pop for the Viper, 163 for DauT. I think the castle's going to go down, guys. And I think DauT will lose his hill. He will lose these gold piles. And Viper will be able to push this one to a victory as DauT runs out of food. His gold is going to get incredibly low now as well. And what a play by Viper there with that ram push. That was exactly what he needed to turn this one around.
Viper's army composition is just better. He has Hussars, so that's something that DauT cannot get. He has more of them, and he has Halberdiers. And then he has a couple SOs, skirmishers now coming in as well, mixing it up so we can get every counter, and then the Siege Rams as well.
Beautiful.
There's the GG. And what a great game for Viper. I thought he was going to lose it there.
Well, I mean, I was really on the fence. I mean, we identified this would be the point where everything happened, this hill right here. And Viper was in a position at one point where he had the hill, he had DauT on the back foot, and in my opinion, he should have pushed his advantage at that point, and he should have been able to push through and break through into DauT's base. DauT did defend, and he made the great choice of going into bombard cannon. With that, he was able to push Viper off the hill and try and retake the hill for himself, securing himself the gold, and then he had the superior army at that point, because he had the bombard cannons, he had the heavy scorpions, and he had the hand cannons. At that stage of the game, Viper didn't have anything to deal with that, until once again Viper did another tech switch, and then we saw the siege rams, at which point it was done. Good game.
Yeah, so I want to hear what Nilly has to say, because I feel like DauT had opportunities there. Not saying DauT did many things wrong in that game, because they were neck and neck the entire game until the Imperial Age. Nilly, if you were DauT in that situation, let's say DauT could replay the last 20 minutes of this game, what decisions would you have changed?
Honestly, the last 20 minutes didn't matter. The Viper, it sounds sad, but actually that's the way how this game works. The Viper, from the start of the game, wanted to get to Halberdier, Siege Onagers. And everything played out to just fulfill this plan. And as you saw, he went for a reasonable amount of army in Castle Age, for some small army in Feudal Age, just enough to always survive, to scout a lot, and to never be in danger to actually lose the game. And then we saw, okay, the Viper might lose against a push. Then the Viper went on stone, and when he had 400 stone, he took that one big engagement with his knights, monks, and scouts, because he knew he wouldn't use those units anyways. And he couldn't die because he had the stone. So just trade off all your army, kill as much as possible from DauT so that the push couldn't get through, and then he simply went for Halberdiers, did some dance, not the greatest micro with siege onagers, but I think just a way superior late Imperial army. Yeah, basically won him the game.
I think the big thing there for me was that the Hussar for Viper wasn't available to DauT. And if you look at the upgrades as well, DauT only had +1 attack, whereas Viper was fully upgraded with +4/+4, and he didn't have the Hussar as well. That just gave Viper a lot more of a bigger health pool as well going into that fight with those Hussar, plus the fact he had the Siege Onagers, plus the fact he had the Halbs. With Dragina, I want to add, he did do that technology in the end. Great game by both players, and what a great series so far. It's neck and neck, 1-1, and we're going to be going into game 3 in just a moment's time. This is a best of 5, and let's come out of this game. So